Back in the classroom, logged in as the teacher, I can now see how many students have completed the assignment and how many have not. I only have 2 students in my example classroom, but you can see that one of them is done and one of them is not on each of the assignments. So let me jump back into the assignment list here, and you can see I'll take this writing prompt assignment as the example. I'll click over here, and I have 2 categories. I have the done students and the not done students. And you can see, if this would be a longer list, obviously with a full class, but what's really handy about this is I can take all of the not done students, and you might have 20 kids in this list, and then I can check this box to select all of them, and then I can click here to send them each a message. And so what that does is it opens up email, and it puts all the students' names in the BCC blind carbon copy line of the email. And what that means is, I only have 1 student in here, so it didn't do it this time, but normally it puts them in the blind carbon copy line, which means that they don't get to see who else I sent the message to. It just goes to each student, and they can't tell that I also emailed 3 of their friends, So I can put in the subject, I can say, missing assignment. And so, hey, Johnny, please make sure you turn in that assignment. Thanks. And so anyway, it just uses your normal teacher email to do that and emails their student account that's hosted through the school. So you can send each student a little reminder. You can send them the same message. It'll go to each student individually, and it's that simple. Okay. Back here in the done students, here's how I would grade an assignment. So under the done category, I can see demo student A has turned in the assignment. It says done, which means they clicked the button that marks done, but there's also an attached assignment. So I'm going to click on that. And here is the assignment that was turned in. And I have access to it digitally, so I can take a look at all these different things here. So I can highlight things and make comments. I can make corrections. I can add in some text here for suggestions. Lots of options. Right up here, there's a line that says see new changes. So I can click on that, and I can see anything that has been added today. And so if the student wrote this in different days or over a long period of time, I can see what was done when. If multiple students worked on it together, I can see who wrote which part. See revision history shows me a list of all the changes as it went through. And so this is where they started with nothing. And then 4 minutes later, they had this on there. And I did that all together quickly as one thing. So normally, if a student's writing paragraphs, you can see kind of each sentence as they build it in there. It's useful just to see what their thought process is. You can see them type things and then delete things and reword things. You can also see if somehow they magically seem to attach a huge block of text all at once, meaning maybe they copy and pasted that from somewhere. So lots of uses for that. So I'm going to go back here, and let's say I want to make some comments. Let's say that on this part of their paragraph here, I'd like to make a comment. So I can click this little comment button and say, this is good. Please consider revising verb choice. I don't know, something like that. And I'll click comment. And the student will see that little comment show up, and they can address that or not or whatever. One thing that's built into Google Docs and some of the other apps is the ability to make suggestions and revisions, things like that. So I could highlight some text here, and I could hit the delete button. And since I'm in suggesting mode, it does a strike through and highlights that and adds a comment, and it says delete whatever text they had there. And I can put in something else instead. This is my new answer. And so the comment will update that, and they'll say replace some answer, which is the text I wrote here, with this is my new answer, which is the text I wrote there. So I can leave that there for the student. When the student sees the comment, they can hit this check mark to accept the change, or they can hit the X to reject it. They can also reply to my comment, and we can have a back and forth conversation here inside the document. Okay, so let's say I assume everything's fine. I made those changes, but I'm okay with the assignment, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a grade. I just close this because all the changes have been saved in Drive, and it indicates that right here. I just close it. To give them a grade, I click right here, and I'll type in 10 out of 10. It says not returned, and so to return it, I just need to make sure I have a check mark here, and then I click the return button. And then it says return work to one student. The student will be notified and can check any grade you've left. So I can click return. Even after the assignment's been returned, I could still go in and attach a note to that assignment. If I click on the name of the student here, this is their assignment page here. It says returned, and I can add a private comment and post it. And only the student gets to see that one, and it's attached to that assignment, so they would see that at the same time they saw their grade. Okay, let me jump back here. Let's grade something from another assignment. Let's go to the group project instructions here. And here is my student who has turned it in, so I will click on this one. And what I'm going to do is return this without a grade and leave them a comment that says they need to do a better job on this one. So I'll add a private comment and say, you didn't follow all of the instructions. Please complete it and resubmit. And I'll click post. And that is attached to the assignment. And then I will return that to the assignment with no grade. And then what the student will do is fix their work and then resubmit it, and then I can see that history of them turning it in, getting it back, and then turning it in again on this page. So far, they've turned it in, and I returned it, and then we'll see more there later. So far, I've taken a look at two different assignments. I'm going to go up here to the menu and note a couple things here. Underneath the teaching section, there's an item called assignments. If I click on that, I can see all the assignments that I have completed. And these are marked as to review. And so what that means is these are the assignments that I haven't reviewed yet, and I need to take a look at these and get the grades done. Over here in my reviewed list, no reviewed assignments. So all this is just a simple marking system. So what I'll do here is I'll take the writing prompt assignment, which I did review because only one student turned it in, and I'll drop that little menu down and say mark as reviewed. And that'll come off the list. And so if you choose to use that, it's just a way of keeping track of which assignments you've already graded. Maybe after a due date has gone by, you kind of take these off the review list so that you don't need to keep looking for those. Similarly, I review the group project instructions. I can mark as reviewed. And what they do is they just move over to this column, and then I can move them back if I need to. Mark as not reviewed. And that's how that works. Okay, so let's go back over, and what I'm going to do is take a look as a student at how those comments come across.